Welcome, Aquarius, to the month of September 2018. I'm Megan of North Star Astrology, and this is another general transits reading for those of you born with your sun, moon, and or rising signs in the 11th zodiac sign of Aquarius, the water bearer. And I wanted to quickly point out that at the tail end of your reading, just like with all readings, I'm going to be sharing with you both the positive characteristics and or attributes of your sign and the negative characteristics and or traits to let go, and a little bit of my artwork that I did for your sign, just like all the others that I did, and that'll be at the end of your reading, so stay tuned. Now, September 2nd, the month starts out with Mars still transiting your 12th house in Capricorn, trining or making the 120-degree flowing harmonious aspect to the moon in Taurus. So, and this happens at 5 hours 58 minutes. Mars in Capricorn in your 12th house of the house of dreams and the subconscious mind, harmoniously trining the moon in Taurus in your 4th house of the home. And with this, you will emotionally feel at ease within the actions, internal actions of your mind and how your dreams unfold. And so that is very positive to start the month out for you. Then, wait a minute, where did I put it? Oh my, wait a minute, where did I put my moons? Oh, hang on. Oh, found it. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, then hold on. Oh, I thought I was prepared. Okay, then on the following day, September 3rd, the last quarter moon happens at 10 degrees Gemini, 34 minutes in your 5th house of romance and creativity. Okay, and so any need to let go of a romantic partner, this may be the time. Then on the following day, September 4th, Mercury in your 7th house of relationships in Leo sextiles or makes a 60-degree short but sweet aspect to the last quarter phase moon. So from the 5th house to the 7th house, Mercury in the flamboyant opposite sign to you, Leo. You're creative, however, just as well, and can be just as flamboyant as it's the reflection, your opposite reflection, you know. Anyway, so Mercury, communications, with relations, with and in relations with others, positively sextiling the last quarter phase moon in your 5th house of romance and creativity. And so maybe you may rethink that possible breakup, and maybe things are going to go ahead and you'll have smooth sailing. So then on September 6th, Saturn in your 12th house stations direct. And I did have that. Okay, retrograde, see? And, all right. So it stations direct at 11 hours, 10 minutes in your 12th house of dreams and the subconscious mind. Then also, on September 6th, Mercury leaves Leo and enters your 8th house, joining along in the sign or with the sun in Virgo, going into the 8th house of sex, death, and taxes, and others as resources. And that's at 2 hours, 40 minutes. Then also on September 6th, at 12 hours, 44 minutes, Mars in Capricorn in your 12th house opposes the moon, now going into its opposite sign into Cancer. So Mars in Capricorn, making this point of awareness, as I like to say, or doing a 180 with your emotions in your 6th house of health and work and service given, to Mars in the disciplined, responsible placement of Capricorn, with all of that energy going on in your 12th house in opposition to the moon in Cancer in your 6th house, may very well give you the awareness that you not only need to, take some time out or respite for yourself, take a little vacation. In other words, mentally, not necessarily physically, but you know what I'm saying. Go off for a while, and you have this awareness that you emotionally need to restructure, take action, and transform your mind in some significant way. Then on September 8th at 13 hours 32 minutes, Venus in Libra in your 9th house of law and higher education sextiles the moon once the moon goes into your 7th house of relationships. So from the 7th house to the 9th house, you now have this emotional need to connect in your relationships in a most loving way, albeit a somewhat philosophically intellectual way, perhaps on a vacation with your significant other. Some important information or something like that. Then on September 9th, the new moon occurs. Well, I guess that stays there because it builds up. Okay, wait a minute. New moon. No, that's right. No. Okay. Virgo. Okay. Well, obviously, the sun is in Virgo, so that would make this a new moon, because once the sun and moon come together, it's like a conjunction, or a 0 to 8 degree together, two planets coming together. So it forms what's known as a conjunction, but in this case, it becomes the new moon. Now, forming at exactly 17 degrees Virgo. And I don't know why I thought it was still in your 7th house, but okay, I'm still waking up. Okay, and so with this new moon in your 8th house of others' resources, you can come to the realization or a new awareness of others' values. Can't think of anything else right now. Okay, then on September 9th, Venus leaves your 9th house in Libra and enters your 10th house in Scorpio, going into Venus leaving its ruling position in the rule, because Libra is ruled by the planet Venus. Now it's going into Scorpio. And that happens at 9 hours 26 minutes. Then, so having this going on, having the planet of Venus entering your 10th house of career, this will give you a love of your career or public standing and your position in life. It will absolutely give you a love of everything like that concerning what you've taken on as your purpose. Then on September 10th at 15 hours 14 minutes, Mars in Capricorn trines the moon, still in its new state. Yeah, I believe. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, so the new moon still transiting through your 8th house, because it takes 2.5 days per sign all the way around the month. Okay, so new moon in Virgo, still in Virgo, harmoniously trines Mars now in your 12th house of the subconscious mind. And again, you're dealing with others' values, taking on a new, perhaps, perspective. Then on September 11th, Mars enters Aquarius, your sign, in your 1st house of the self and body, the physical body, not just the mental bodies. And that happens at 0 hours 57 minutes. Excuse me. And then also on September 11th at 22 hours 59 minutes, Pluto, being that it's been retrograde, and I can't remember when it went retrograde, but Pluto squares the moon. Once the moon comes over here in your 9th house of religion and philosophy, as well as law and higher learning, or higher education, as I wrote, in Libra. So, what did I say? Pluto. Pluto squares the moon. So, the moon is emotionally feeling rather somewhat analytical, philosophical, as this is also governing the philosophical house. So the higher mind is squaring the subconscious mind here at a 90-degree angle. So from your 9th to your 12th houses, you're dealing with a bit of a challenge between your emotions and how you're transforming yourself. Then on September 12th, Jupiter in your 10th house of career and ego and public standing sextiles Pluto. So from your 10th to your 12th houses, and Pluto being in a retrograde state, and I'm not quite sure how that's panning out for everybody. I do need to do more of my studies on the how do you call it? What do you say on that? The intricate influence of however that's going to affect your 12th house or any of the other houses for all the other signs. Okay, so however, Jupiter in the other fixed sign, as you are fixed air, Scorpio is fixed water, but yet with this 60-degree short but sweet positive sextile, and the reason it's positive is because it's an even spaced amount of houses, even numbers versus odd numbers. Okay, so with this beautifully largely energy from the largest planet, Jupiter, in Scorpio, sextiling Pluto retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, an earthy element, there is this largely positive, deep, intense ability to connect to something higher and deeper in in other words, possibly fettering out from your subconscious mind in order to perhaps benefit yourself within your career sector. Then, I hope that all made sense, okay? Then on September 14th at 8 hours 55 minutes, the Sun, still in Virgo in your 8th house, sextiles the Moon, making you feel quite generally happy. This is known as the general happiness aspect. And so from your 8th to your 10th houses, very sweet, short but sweet happiness about perhaps asking for promotion and maybe getting it, asking for help, assistance from others' resources to and for your 10th house or your career of some sort. Then on September 16th at 23 hours 16 minutes, the Sun then proceeds to square the Moon 90-degree square, Sun square, and the Moon going into Sagittarius, into your 11th house of friendships, hopes, goals, and wishes. And with that square comes challenges, emotional challenges, emotional challenges from your possible wishing for, your hopes, goals, wishes, not just your friendships or group events, but you possibly emotionally hoping for some kind of financial assistance for some of what you're dreaming for or going after, and maybe not necessarily receiving it just yet. Then the first quarter moon occurs toward the tail end of your 11th house, still at 24 degrees Sagittarius, 2 minutes, still in your 11th house. So first quarter standings of the first quarter phase moon, sort of stemming from the new moon, taking first steps in your house of friendships. Then on September 19th at 17 hours 11 minutes, the Sun in Virgo trines the moon once the moon goes into your 12th house of the subconscious mind. And to make it it's kind of hard with this Virgo Virgin goddess here for the month of September, having this little statuette standing on Earth with the "you are here" thing, and look at okay, can you see that? The Sun, right, the Sun trines the moon. Okay, well, you get the idea. So from the 8th house to the 12th house, or 4 houses, 4 signs away, you have a very harmonious ability to tap in to your dreams and possibly choose the correct lotto numbers. Then September 21st at 17 hours 14 minutes, Jupiter in your 10th house in Scorpio squares the moon once the moon goes into your sign Aquarius and proceeds to square Jupiter. So Jupiter square the moon, water, air, both of a fixed nature or quality. And now with the moon in your first house of the self and physical body, you may very well want to watch that you're not too impulsive and or emotionally intense, with being that Mars is here too. With Moon in Aquarius, you may have a tendency to, and I'm not wishing this on anyone, but you rule the ankle area, so be careful at this time. On September 21st, be very careful. Say if you're, for example, a truck driver and your career is dealing with something very physically demanding, be very careful of jumping down and off of ledges or onto areas or into areas where you might like hike or do lots of physically demanding movements, as you, Aquarius, rule the ankle area. So be very mindful and careful on September 21st, as this square largely coincides with possible physical injuries on or within the career sorry if you heard that air conditioning coming on. That was loud. Okay, so like I said, just be careful on September 21st. Then on September 22nd, Mercury leaves your 8th house and leaves Virgo and enters your 9th house and enters Libra. Mercury enters the sign of Libra at 3 hours 41 minutes. Then too, the following day, the Sun moves into Libra on September 23rd at 1 hour 55 minutes. Then on September 24th at 5 hours 27 minutes, Jupiter trines the moon once the moon goes into your second house of money, into Pisces. So with this, once again, with this very harmonious, flowing 120 degree 4 signs away, being that they're both water signs, moon and Pisces, in your second house of money and what you value, trining harmoniously the planet Jupiter in Scorpio in your 10th house of career, you may very well receive a big raise that you've been asking for. Then on September 25th, the full moon occurs at 1 degree Aries, 60 minutes, in your third house of communications. So what that can do for you is open you up to being less of a maybe a loner, or staying within yourself too much with all this energy in your 12th house of sort of like a secluded energy. So this will help open you up to communicating more. And also your ruling planet Uranus having or will be transiting for many years to come here, as I stated in the May reading. I believe it's going to be like however many years, 7 to 14 years with Uranus here. Your ruling planet Uranus within the 4th house of the home kind of is making you feel like you're wanting to be more just wanting to be at home more. Perhaps you have actually a home business, but this full moon in Aries will be able to bring out your latent ideas, perhaps, or anything that you've been putting on the back burner. Now you're taking action also with Mars now in your sign, in your first house. And with this full moon, it's bringing you out to maybe even your neighboring communities, as this also deals with short distance travels. You'll be communicating a lot with your siblings as well. So that's a good positive thing. Then on September 26th at 10 hours, 29 minutes, Pluto in your 12th house squares the moon once the moon comes full circle in Taurus. So once again, we're dealing with your 4th house at the home. Well, not really once again, but I was discussing this on your ruling planet Uranus. Okay, so you have this unique, as the planet Pluto is considered somewhat unique, but you're actually the unique planet here. Intense, I would say. So Pluto squares the moon now in Taurus. So this gives you a bit of a challenging emotional intensity within the home base. And I'm not quite sure how that will affect you, but that's just what it says here. Then on September 28th at 22 hours 37 minutes, Jupiter in your 10th house in Scorpio makes this opposition to the moon in Taurus. So again, now you'll have the emotional awareness, as again, I like to consider this the awareness point, or 180-degree aspect to Jupiter now in your 10th house. Of course, it's been there, but so now with Jupiter opposing the moon from your 10th to your 4th houses, you now have the awareness that you emotionally need to take time off or take time for yourself, your inner self. And with that, Aquarius, I want to bring out that's what it did for Capricorn, your previous sign. Aquarius, your quality is fixed. Whoa. Your quality is fixed. Your element is air. Your ruler is Uranus. Your anatomy is the ankles. Your glyph is the waves of water or electricity. Your ruler is the 11th house, and your opposite sun sign is Leo. Your key phrase is, I know. Your positive characteristics and or attributes are independence, inventiveness, tolerance, individualistic, progressive, artistic, scientific, logical, humane, intellectual, and altruistic. Then your negative characteristics and or traits to let go are that you can tend to be unpredictable, temperamental, bored by detail, cold, too fixed in opinions, shy, eccentric, radical, impersonal, and rebellious. Aquarius, the water bearer. And with that, I wanted to show you or share with you my bit of, okay, I'm going to choose sky blue for the water, even though this isn't the sky, it's now just flowing water. Oh no, what did I do here? Uh-oh, what happened to this paper? Oh no. This is a great little sketchbook that I found at Target because it lays nice and flat. Anyway, I wanted to share this with you because I felt it so beautiful, or just a unique way. Okay, I'm going to choose the color mauve. For the pottery. Doesn't necessarily have to be terracotta. But you get the idea. This is just an additional add-on or extra bonus that I thought would be really cute to be able to share with you. And will be continuing to color in next month, in the month of October. As isn't it hard to believe this year is just like flying by. Now see, this wasn't too hard to fill in. Uh-oh, I'm not staying within the lines. Okay, with that, I want you to enjoy your month of September and have a glorious rest of the summer, and feel free to like, give it a thumbs up, hope you enjoyed watching, comment down below, and feel free to subscribe. Bye!